Okay, welcome into the channel. Paramay trades. Well, trade instinct actually. Trade instinct, something we changed to just recently within the last week. So we get a couple of things to still update. Put the logo in here, but welcome in. Welcome to the channel, Paramay trades. It is Saturday the 2nd for a little bit longer here on Mountain Time in the United States. It's probably getting around trading time for some of you folks on the other side of the world. So, and we do recognize that. We do notice that there are people from all over the world who take a peek at these. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the CoT report, commercial interest, Friday Roundup edition for grains. Charts that we have been playing for the last couple of weeks, and commercial interest is not shy on a couple of commodities that we've been looking at. And it showed this week. ZL was one of them. Soybean oil was one that we were very keen on playing because of, well, not just because of commercial interest, but because of the chart setup as well. So hey, maybe they see the same thing that we see, or we see the same thing that they see. Commercial interest, one of our leading indicators. Let's take a look. Let's take a peek. Where are we with grains? Down here. The one thing that's a little bit depressing about this is oats. We just have not been getting enough data on oats. I don't know what is going on here. Let's see if we can drag this in and just take a look at oats. Where's our grains here? Currencies and softs and meats, and where the heck are our oats? Show right up on top. Here's our grains. Oh, yeah. See, oats. Unless I'm blind here, I don't see any oats. Oats has just not been showing up. I don't know what is going on here. We only have about 5 or 6 weeks of just no data whatsoever in the futures market. Commitment of traders from oats. So there's just like nothing to go on with oats. Is there nothing to go on because there's nothing to report, or what is going on here? But oats took off. So I don't know where the positions are. This is just not helpful. This ain't helping us out. I don't know where the data is. I have to track this down and find out, because there's the most recent commercial interest, which was 1274 for commercial interest, but we got nothing. But this looks like a pretty gappy commodity to trade every once in a while, where there's these gaps where there's just no report. And I don't know if there's just no report or if there's just no change. So what we've been doing is just using the same data. Using the same data week after week. So I mean, just no real changes. Is this our? Oh, that's platinum. What? Oh no, that's not platinum. Oh, I just got this labeled wrong. That's oats. Oats. ZL. So we do. Got a little bit of data, but this is pretty much the same consistent data. I don't know what's going on with oats, but it left off pretty bullish, so that was one of the ones that we put on the top of the list, and that was back in March, though. Back probably around the 20th of March, we were super bullish on oats. So yeah, corn doing work here. Corn doing work on the 3-year index and on the 6-month index. Both indexes we really like. Anything over 80%, so if you're new to the channel, anything over 80% is pretty bullish. Anything under 20% is pretty bearish or negative outlook. So positive outlook on corn. Super positive outlook. Really, really, really. So we were hip to this, and set new highs within the last 2 weeks. We haven't adjusted the index to put it back at 100, but sometimes we do this. I like to see that that increase and say, yep, they're consistently going in a net long. We're holding a net long stance, net long positive stance here on oats, on corn. So we're going to watch that. We're going to watch corn in the upcoming week here. And we're definitely going to look at this chart. So moving down, ZL was one we were watching. Absolutely, ZL is definitely one to watch here. Consistent positive outlook. Not set new highs, but up over 80%, well over 80% on the index that we've derived here. Oats, we seem to think that they're up over 80% still and still bullish, and the chart looks good. So I'm not watching wheat. I am not watching wheat. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. I don't know how often I play wheat either, but this is just back and forth, back and forth. If you're a strong wheat player and you know something I don't, tune into the channel and and let us know, because I don't play this chart very often, so I'm gonna be very transparent about that. And at the bottom of the grains, here, soybeans, and soybean meal. And the soybean meal and the 3-year index looking pretty good. So I don't know if ZM, I don't know if soybean meal is. Yes, it's trying to pull out. It's trying to pull out of this nosedive here. Because I find it really interesting that the soybean oil is super bullish, but soybean meal and soybean themselves not. So seasonal effect, something going on. I'm pulling out a little bit, but so well underneath the 20% on the index that it's bearish. So I think we had looked at that chart once before. So let's just quickly navigate our way through some of these charts so that we can see what we see. So at the top of the heap here, corn. Corn's at the top of the heap. I want to take a look at this. Absolutely. Because I think we're getting some real accumulating signals going on down here. So we're getting, in this area we got, stop moving around here. That's one thing that annoys me about TOS, is the shifting of the chart. Do your charts twitch? Mine twitch on occasion. I don't, and then it goes away, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. I have no idea. There's a couple of things that drive me nuts about this platform, but for the better part, it's pretty darn good. So, 1 hour, looking at the 1 hour time frame and looking at this very lengthy downtrend for corn, and the consistency that we've seen are along the point of control, and the struggles and the fist fighting going on, and the better buying opportunities that exist down below or around the 1.0, the 1.25 coefficient that we've seen time and time again. And so now this starts to look a little bit, really good opportunities down here, right? With that excessive, whoa, right out of the channel. And then we get those nice tails that are working for us. So better buying opportunities that happen there. And then there's your better selling opportunities. So we have, strong, consistent. How strong? Pretty strong, right? Pretty strong downtrend. 390 up near 390, 385, 390, and down into the 300 ballpark going on down here. Quite consistent. And so this is, just a look at the last better part of 2 months of trading. Yeah, 2 months of trading. So 100 off the top, 2 months. So better opportunities down in these areas. We do have these value areas marked off, but most of the trading has been going on below the point of control. So we skipped over our number 3 chart. So let's just backpedal and let's take a look at our number 3 chart, because this is where it gets pretty interesting. This is where it gets pretty interesting in terms of commercial interest, and we've got these marked off because this is the area that we find really interesting, and this is a part of the recipe that we work with quite consistently when it comes to the commitment of traders. Comms are bullish, open interest is relatively low, WPR on the oversold, and market sentiment is just darn near bottom. So now what do you got? Oh, we got the 3-year, I think, loaded up here, but we'll keep it so that we can see. And when we approach the market top, we're in danger of repeating ourselves here. Market top, comms are bearish. Open interest is relatively high in this area right here. So it did rebound. So when open interest is high, comms are bearish, and WPR is in the overbought territory, and we've got market sentiment, kind of blazing it up. It's time to get out, and it was time to get out. So we've only got 1 year of data to look at, but now we're switching feet here. You see the inverse correlation. So if you don't believe that comms have either some kind of impact or some kind of nose for where price action is going to go, I would ask you to rethink that, because of the distinct correlation between where price action is and where comms are. You see this kind of inverse relationship a little bit? Well, not inverse relationship. We would just say correlation. You see where this correlation is. Market goes up, comms aren't optimistic. Market comes down, comms are getting more optimistic. Market moves down, comms are getting very optimistic at these low levels that we haven't seen in, I mean, we've got to go back even further to find lower levels than 300. So what are we doing here? Is this, some would say, well, no, this is a bearish chart. Oh, yeah, you're right. It does look bearish, doesn't it? But this is opportunistic time. This is opportunity. This is time to be a bull. This is time to be brave. And this is time to take the trades that nobody else wants to trade. Because open interest is relatively low and comms are getting bullish. So I got to think that they're loading up on the chart here. So let's go back to our 2 charts so that we can take an even better look at what might be. So let's just clear it up. You know, and we'll take off the mark cell 2 here and just redraw it. And just redraw this. We got 1 hour. Okay. I really liked these first 3 points. Was that the one we were looking at? I don't know. We got to tag it just right. Because I really liked the point of control. Oh, this is not what we were working with. This is not, why is this not lining up the way it was? I really liked the first, where was it? The first 3 points here that we were working with. Gave us that point of control that I really liked. And this is not horrible either as an expression of the downtrend, but I really liked where the point of control was. So I thought it was these first 3 pivots that we were working with. And why it's not lining up is beyond me. And that's not going to do it either. That's too sharp. That's too sharp. Were we working here? Were we working on this one? Then wasn't it, huh? This wasn't it. This was not it at all. Now I'm a little frustrated here. Because I know we had this, oh, there it is. We just did that. 1, 2, 3. That was the first 3 that we were working with. We really liked that, that point of control. This was, you know, I could have swore we put that in the first 3. Oh, maybe, you know, I'm just losing my mind today. Yeah, so we like this look, right? We like this look. And, you know, if you're going on instinct here, these things should pop out immediately. These things should really pop out immediately where the levels of support and resistance are. You shouldn't have to think about it anymore. You should just be able to draw them. They should pop right out and they should be there, and you shouldn't have to think about it. At least that's what we're practicing here at you know, Trade Instinct. Is not thinking too much, because if you've done the work, you've already looked at the charts. You already know. You already know what you're looking at. You don't need to overdo it. You just find some areas of support and resistance and don't overthink it. So here's some resistance that's working against us, I think. That's going to come into play if it hasn't, you know, nearly already. And they got it pretty close to that. But we're getting some movement outside the channel now. So this is what I liked about corn. This is what I really like. This is what we really liked, and this is, you know, right on that point of control, which gives us a pretty good idea that this has been trading below it until this point in time, where now we're starting to intersect, I believe, where we could quite possibly find a downtrend, or a trend change to this downtrend. So, and you can even go further a little bit here and say that we've got a nice range to work with. And get yourself a horizontal look or channel. because we haven't really yet established kind of an uptrend. But you can get a nice horizontal look. I mean, I like to keep this channel on here, but for the sake of just working with this area, let's get a horizontal look right now where this ceiling is the zero coefficient, and let's see if we can find a point of control to work with. And that looks pretty good, right? That looks pretty good. Yeah. So now we got something to work with here. Now it's starting to feel like accumulation down here. Is this point of control pretty good to work with? And it's looking like yes. It's actually looking like a stellar point of control. So, better opportunities to be a seller up here. But while this represents a good opportunity to maybe get on the short scalp, with as bullish as comms are right now, and great buying opportunities down here on the 1.0 and the 1.25. So anything below that is looking pretty stellar. Can we get a nice swing out of here and get out? I think so. I think with as bullish as commercial interest is, I really like this as an accumulation pattern. And we've got more trading inside this value range than we've got working for us over here. We had that nice point of control to work with, off this area, and then we're starting to get a little bit of altitude. I like this. I like this idea here that above the point of control, time to be a buyer within this horizontal realm. I like the idea. We've got to watch it. We've got to watch the chart, and we've got to see if we can get out of here. Corn, something to watch. Absolutely. Especially with commercial interest. So, top of the list. Corn is at the top of the list, setting new net long highs here within the last 6 months, and we're not quite at the highest in the 3-year index. But when both of these work together for us, go get some. Go get it. Seriously, go get it. So ZL, let's take a look at ZL. ZL, yeah. So this is a chart that I've been playing, and this is why. And it wasn't just the break of this, it was this nice bullish W look that we got here, and then we got out. But it was also this downtrend channel that we saw a little bit of shift. Well, it might have been this channel that we were working with right in here. So we get that bullish W set up, and then we've got a nice internal. Working for us here, and we broke out of it. So nice, so great point of control working for us here. Tagging, a lot of fighting going on, a little bit of support, losing it, and then as always, we always point out better buying opportunities down here in the 1.25 and the 1.0 coefficient. So this was just much better buying opportunities down here, better places to be a buyer. So we were a buyer down here, but the one thing we got burned on. And the one thing that I'll emphasize to anybody who's trading commodities is for the life of you, keep the contract change events on, because we got in down here and I had it turned off and I didn't notice that the contract was changing and we had to roll it. And Cal was a little pissed off about that. I'm not gonna lie, because we got a damn good price on this, and you can still trade the other contract. You can, but there's not a lot of trading going on in here. Not nearly as much as the newest contracts. So we're up 40 something cents, and there's a lot more volume, and it's easier to get in and out of the trades. So this pissed me off just a little bit, but we got some altitude here. We found some support over the point of control, and we just started breaking out. So now where's the time to be a buyer? Over the point of control, not a bad place to be a buyer. Not a bad place to be a buyer. And same thing as always. 1.0. I'm sorry, 0 coefficient. -2.5. A way better chance at your scalp plays being a seller up over here for the time being, till this thing gets. So we got a nice accumulating look, and we haven't exactly established an uptrend yet. So, it starts to look like this. You're just holding. But right now, you're looking for better buying opportunities. If this starts to go, where's your trend channel? I mean, do we have something as of yet? I can't. Oh gosh, I don't. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to run it just like this. I do. Yep, I do. Usually I would use the lowest, but I want to use these two. I want to use these 2 points right now and call this your better buying opportunity. You below this low. Yeah, because if we're looking at the horizontal accumulation pattern that we're looking at here, this is a better buying opportunity anyway, underneath the 1.25. So that's looking good, right? I mean, this is better buying opportunity anyway. So let's just, let's go with it. And is this a good point of control to work with? It looks pretty decent. It looks pretty decent for the moment. We may get some kind of change here that may give us some idea of what's going on in the future, but I think ZL is a bullish chart, and I'm looking for opportunities, above whatever established point of control we have to get, to be a buyer. And your selling is up in here. Okay, ZL Oats. We had described that. Oh my gosh, this chart was back in March. This was back in March, and this one, oh, look at this, huh? Well, this one kind of hit us on the money with this pattern that we were looking at. So it has retraced. So we're going to have to clean this up. We're going to have to clean this up a little bit and see what we see now. Boy, that's running good. Let's clear this out so we can just get a better look. And if you're not used to doing it, I mean, you can't. Like a little spotty in here with the liquidity and with the candles and stuff. You can go to hike in the sheet and to get a better look. A little smoother. You just smooth these candles out a little bit and see what you see. So this was good here, right? I mean, this looked like a strong swing. Higher low, lower low, higher low. Look at that nice technical retest in here. And this, the same thing that we look at all the time is we're looking for a swing, and this is the swing that we got. That's a swing we got here. So, can we do a horizontal look at the bottom of this? Oh yeah, I mean, look at this, right? Make it our bottom, right in there, right where that technical test was, and then that looks pretty darn good. That looks really good. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, 4 hours working for us. Sometimes we have to go to it. I mean, I really like the 1 hour, but sometimes we just have to rely on the 4 hour to get the job done. And yeah, point of control looks really. So if we turn off the candles now, I'm gonna get back to our. Is it a good setup? I mean, look good. Point of control look pretty good here. On Oats. So where is Oats going now? I think Oats can run. I think it can run. It can really run. Good point of control happening right up in here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then your better selling opportunities up in this area, but it jumped. It jumped right out of there. It jumped right out. And now we're finding support. So this is a classical support and resistance flip here, and we're going to get some more movement on Oats. Hard to look at commercial interest with this because the data is just so gappy with them. I just don't know where it is. We'll get on the CFTC website and see if we can find it. So there it is. So there's that flip. So is this going to find some more altitude here? Not a bad place to be a buyer with being in the oversold territory. Market sentiment is shifting a little bit. I don't know how much it helps us, but bullish comms and open interest relatively low. Good time to be a buyer. I think this is a good time to be a buyer. This broke out so well. How high can Oats go? What do we have on like a 3-year look? How high? Oh yeah, well we can get up there, right? It can run. This thing can run. Is this just getting started here? I don't know. Then this should pop out too, right? Your resistance areas should pop out pretty good. Oh, we just ran right into it. We ran right into that. Oh, and then we ran right into it down here too, the support down here. God, can it keep going? Oof. I mean, I don't know if I want to play Oats. I don't know if I want to play the Oats. I think the other charts look a lot better. So I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't know. Dealer's choice. I'm not really sure. Let's look at wheat real quick because we haven't in a long time. And see what wheat's doing. I mean, do I like this chart? Do I like this chart? What are comms telling us? Quite. I mean, decent shift here. And I mean, they never really got up over the 80% mark on the 6-month index, but this was enough. This was enough to move the chart, and then they were just brushing up against the 80% back here, and they moved, and the chart moved. So com's getting some altitude here, and then we've got this nice look where open interest was just previously relatively low, and the oversold territory. Market sentiment doesn't really help us out that much. Oof. Whoa, this chart! I tell you. So I don't play wheat very often. I like them I like it at the extremes. I really like the extremes. Diminishing or relatively low market sentiment, you know. God, it would be a fly in the wall back here. Bam. Relatively low. Relatively low. Or oops. Market sentiment relatively low, and it cooked. Relatively high. Rising or relatively high, really high. Time to get out of the pool, and it cooked down to the downside. Price action to the downside, and then we get market. Everybody's getting out. Everybody's getting out. Everybody's scared. Market sentiment relatively low, and it goes the other way. And then we get the same business going on here with market sentiment relatively high. It's blazing. We're up in the the overbought territory at the same time, and now we're starting to get that feeling that it's time to get out because it's getting a little too hot. And getting out wasn't a bad idea. And then we're down here again in oversold territory. Market sentiment's relatively low back here, but and we get a little bit of altitude, and we get a little bit more shift from commercial interest on the 6-month index. So we've seen better on the 3-year index, that's for sure. Way back here was a good time to be a buyer. So 1 or 2 weeks, I think 1 or 2. It could be too late. Who knows? Gotta watch it. Gotta go watch it. Soybean meal. Let's take a look, just a quick look at soybean meal on our index here. Oof. I mean, we don't like it right up against resistance, huh? I mean, that's tough, but are we getting a nice bottom accumulating pattern? That looks pretty good. This might be the swing that we're looking for, because this is a little bit more prominent than we get from some of the others, and comms shifting sentiment here on soybean meal. So great opportunity. Comms getting a little bit more bullish here. Market sentiment not really going to help us out. Not at extremes, but open interest at extremes. We like the oversold. This could move in the next couple of weeks, but it's got to get up over that. What's our lower time frame look like? Where's my 2? Yeah, well, it looks like a lot of the other ones, right? So I guess we did look at this recently. We thought we could get up over. We thought we could get up over that point of control and then get a rejection. So I mean, it looks like we, this kind of fouled our roadmap a little bit too precisely. I guess we should have played it, but there's just a lot of charts out there, guys. just a lot. There's always something to play. So we are breaking out of this here. This is finding support here on the -2.5. It found it on the 0. It definitely found it on the 0. So better buying opportunities at the 1.25 and the 1 and the 1.0. did exist down here, and we're looking like we got a nice swing. This could be a bottoming pattern. This could be really nice. This could be a nice move to the upside. Might take a week or two, but soybean meal might be on the heels of soybean oil. Yeah, next few weeks, if not even the next week. I mean, everything's just looking good right now. It's just a good time to trade with all the volatility going on. So I mean, what does that mean for soybeans? I just don't know what the heck is going on with soybeans. I really don't. Let's bring up our 3 chart with soybeans and find out what's happening. What was we looking at? ZS? I mean, they're just it's so bearish. Oh gosh, this is a mess. No, let's go. What? Well, we don't even have a 2 chart for this. Or a 3 chart. I get tired of writing the names in there. I put it up here on this little indicator. Oh. You know, it's a nice swing. Where's the technical test, though? On the daily. Where's the technical test? Yeah, could be a couple of weeks. Comms are really bearish on this, and we're already up into that overbought territory. I'm sorry, we're up into the overbought territory. Open interest is relatively high. I wouldn't touch this as a buyer. I'm not even gonna play this chart. I'm not even gonna watch it. Not gonna do it. I'm just not watching it right now. Too many better charts to play. As that thing just decides what the heck it wants to do. Okay, that's the look at grains. I hope that this is, I hope this helps out a little bit. Top of the list, corn, soybean oil. We think oats worth a play. Soybean meal in the upcoming weeks. Wheat, if you're a wheat player, I don't play the wheat chart, but it looked a lot better than I thought it did. So are they getting some movement here on wheat? Yeah, I mean that's a almost 30% difference. When the sentiment, boy, that really shifts quite considerably and quite quickly on wheat. So, anyways, wow, 32 minutes in, but we cooked through it. So you got commercial interest, and you got my thoughts on the lower time frames too. So maybe I won't have to do too many videos this weekend. So, but I'll probably do a couple. Anyways, Discord channel is available. It's our chat community. You can come, you can pop in, you can talk trade with us. I post my charts, my thought processes. We have changed the channel to Trade Instinct. Yeah, come in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. We really enjoy those. I hope you find yourself on the profitable side of the trade, and we'll see you again on the next video.